The people of the state of California versus David Burke is an actual sealed case, and we have evidence of that. I'm going to break down something that private investigator Steve Fisher unearthed. And then after that, I slowly started to see similar filings. And now my mind is just really focused on the fact that we are one step closer for justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. If you are unfamiliar with this case, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a 14-year-old girl who was found deceased, allegedly decomposing, dismembered. I'm so sorry to say it so directly, in the singer David's car in his Tesla on September 8th, 2025. That's when she was found, and there has still not been an arrest in the case. Now, let me tell you exactly what happened. I'm going to pull up, this article that we have so beautifully displayed from lamag.com. And as you can see, it says the court denies habeas petitions filed by David's family as sealed case emerges. So we are calling this here a bombshell footnote because that's really what I believe that it is. So what happened is that David's family, his father, Dawood, his mother, and his sibling, they all filed several petitions for writ of habeas corpus. And this is in connection I guess in connection to proceedings tied to a case in California. And we believe that this could be tied to the grand jury in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez investigation, where they have most likely been summoned to testify. And we believe this because the bottom of this ruling, I'm going to zoom in, it says, the underlying case is the people of the state of California versus David Burke. There you go. So essentially, what is happening here is that his family doesn't want to testify. They are saying that, this violates our civil rights. We are residents of California. And the court is saying, sorry, we're denying this. This is really not a thing. Now there is there's basically a motion on the docket for a rehearing, and that's going to be February 24th, excuse me. But as of right now, David's family will have to go and testify in front of this grand jury as of right now, unless, again, something happens on February 24th. But I mean, just seeing that, the people of the state of California versus David Burke, that gave me chills. I went to I'll go here and just show you. I went to the Los Angeles Superior Court website. I did try to search for all cases ever involving a David Burke that would possibly be unsealed, and it's not there. I mean, clearly we knew that this case was sealed. It also says that it's sealed in the habeas writ. And I have all the links, by the way, in that article. I'll have it in the episode notes and you can click it from there. But I wanted to show you that, I went through this. There's nothing there at the moment, but oh my goodness. Now, let's go back to my article for just a second, because I also spoke to one of my favorite Los Angeles-based attorneys, Nima Rahmani. Let me show you. Nima Rahmani gave me a great quote, and he is incredibly responsible with just everything that he comments on as this, outside expert. And Nima Rahmani said, quote, "The bombshell footnote confirms what we've been suspecting all along. There is an open criminal case against David Burke, almost certainly a secret grand jury proceeding. And almost certainly, sorry, I can't read today. And almost certainly a secret grand jury proceeding. Dawood, his father, was likely subpoenaed as a grand jury witness. He filed a writ to challenge the out-of-state subpoena, but the Texas courts ruled that Dawood is a material witness and should be compelled to testify." The Texas proceedings come after prosecutors went to Montana to get an arrest warrant for Neo Langston after he refused to testify. So the LA County District Attorney's Office isn't messing around. They are going out of state to find witnesses, and it's probably only a matter of time before David is charged. Wow. I mean, let's unpack a little bit more of this, because they want to talk to David's family for a reason. And while David spent most of his time in California, it's very clear that he spent a lot of time in Texas as well. And not only that, his family was said initially to have been, not, I don't want to say hiding him, because we don't have proof he was necessarily hiding. And like, who is he hiding from? What I want to say is that they were sort of shielding him from the media, I guess. And I think that we can all agree that, yes, he has been hiding from the media, because at this point, his every move is going to be analyzed. And very, very soon after Celeste was identified, because her body was found in the car on September 8th, and I believe it wasn't identified to be Celeste until close to the 17th or the 18th of September. And so if you recall, around that time, that's when David transferred all of his Texas homes to his mother's name. So again, you have this sequence of events, and I've put this in writing before, but the sequence of events that really kind of points to David's involvement, again, without just pointing fingers at him, because look, we don't have all of the details yet, although I go back to that footnote, the people of the state of California versus David Burke. But I just go back to, the body of a little girl is found in his car. Then you have him obviously canceling his world tour. You have him pushing or delaying his album, the Withered Deluxe album. Then you have him moving out of his Hollywood Hills home. Then you have him transferring his Houston, Texas homes to his mother's name. Then you have him hiring a very powerful celebrity attorney, Blair Burke. Although Blair Burke doesn't necessarily specialize in homicide cases, she has obviously tried a homicide case or two before. But I just go back to all of these things. I mean, it's something. David was taking some kind of action at that point. And whether or not you feel like this action is just responsible action just to be cautious, or if you feel like that's the actions of a guilty man, I mean, that's up to you. One thing I will say is I never get mad about anybody ever hiring a lawyer before an arrest or before anything. If your name is attached to something, I'm all about that. Hire a lawyer. I don't think that means that you're guilty. In David's case, I think that everything combined would sort of point more so to guilt. However, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And once again, we do not have all of the details, but I just go back to, wow, the fact that we have it in writing that the family, their writ is attached to an underlying case that is sealed, and this is all spelled out in court documents, the people of California versus David Burke. So as we previously reported that our sources, and as well as I believe TMZ sources, because TMZ is always on top of this, that the grand jury was going to go through February. And it looks like there's a reason that it's taking so long, because they have all of these out-of-state witnesses that don't want to talk. They don't want to testify. So I think that everything is kind of going as it should. I mean, we are just about halfway through February, and as you can see, the grand jury is most likely still being convened, and there should be more updates soon. So thank you all for watching and for listening here. I pray there is justice for Celeste that comes sooner than later, because, I do feel like this case has so many layers. It may not just be a potential homicide. I've said this before, but are we talking about potential trafficking as well, because she was a minor, and we don't know exactly what she was traveling here and there with David for, if she traveled with him at all, and what was the purpose of that. So again, I am asking questions. I'm not making all of these hardcore accusations, but yeah, I just have to wonder. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and for listening. I'll be back next week with more episodes here on Los Angeles Magazine Videos. I'm Lauren Conley.